Hi everybody, Dave Hunt here, owner of GameMasters Guild, and today I just want to show you a little project I'm working on. I've actually had this thing built for probably like 2 years, and I just got around to priming it. It's just a piece from 40K that I am using for some terrain for a sci-fi apocalypse game that I'm working on myself. So hopefully that'll be okay. But anyways, this will also work for all sorts of stuff. But I just took some plexi. As you can see, it's just some acrylic, and I buy it at Lowe's. I score it and I break it, and then as you can see, I've got green stuff holding down like these sprues right here. And what I also did is, in the green stuff, I took some tracks from one of the 40K vehicles and I pressed it in there to give me that extra detail. And then and these are just sprues I just kind of bent, hit them with a lighter, made them pliable. You know, I stuck there's a las rifle there. There's there's a dagger and a pile of dirt, which is really just the green stuff. Here, of course, I've got the turret, and I got some sprue hanging off the side. Over here, looks like I've got like an ammo container and just some other bits and baubles, some structure stuff, just however. And I just put it down there. And I also went around, and I don't know if you can see, but I actually drilled little holes in the sides of my piece here, just to kind of give it like it's been battle damaged. I didn't do too much in the way of battle damage. I could have probably done a lot more, but it's just some little stuff I was doing, and then I just started priming and painting it. But I might get back in here and maybe damage it up a little more. So there's always that. I'll probably use my lighter or a knife or something, or a file, and just, like I said, beat this thing up maybe a little bit more. Whoops. And maybe throw some more paint on it. But now let me show you one that I did complete. This is actually coming up soon. I'm going to finish this at some point. But let me put that aside. Now let me show you my big piece that I've got here. So here is my big piece of plexi, and you can see I've got some torn up magic cards or some other cards there, and you can see I've got a bunch of hot glue that I used. I don't think I used any really green stuff on here, but let's see how this came out. And I'm completely finished with this piece. So I primed it with gray sear, and then boom, this is how it turned out. I got an old beat up, I think that's a Chimera there, I think. And this is what I've got. I used some 4K bits from some other model. I can't remember what that's from. I got some old sprue. I got looks like a plasma rifle or something in here, and all this weird looking stuff. This is all like hot glue that I used to make my little mounds out of. Let's see, I've got some hot glue along here. You see I've got some actual treads that popped off this right here. I didn't have any riser rust, which is a dry Citadel color, but I just used like Troll Slayer orange or something, and just thinned out my brush before I started painting it on as rust. But again, I used gray sear to prime everything first. And I'm by no means a professional painter. I don't watch a lot of painting videos. I just kind of feel my way through it. I just get some general ideas. I try to paint in there. And usually I don't paint stuff ahead of time. I just stick it on there, prime it, and then if I can get to it, I can. If not, oh well. There's definitely some spots like way back in here that I couldn't get, but it's not terrible though at all. And then I went back and I used some contrast paint to paint it green. And then after that, I went back and with I can't remember what color it was. It wasn't lead belcher. It was one of the other, like Steel Legion Drab or something. And I went back and then I dry brushed some of these areas here to give it some of that reflective silver, like some of it's been worn off. And then I used the orange paint. Again, I thinned it out, and then I just kind of dry brushed it on stuff like this barrel and some of this other stuff, just so that way it gave a hint of rust. I had a bunch of these little tufts that are already sticky right out of the package, and they literally just stuck them in places which I thought were cool, like in this groove right here, or on, what are we talking about, these mounds, of course, like right here inside these vents. I put one here, I put a couple other here, just kind of scattered them all about. You see I got like a little door hatch right here, and I made it kind of rusty, and I did use some, it's not sterling, but I think it's, what did I use? I used, I think like Armageddon dust maybe, but you can see where I put some This right here is actually contrast. You see this color right here? This is like Guilliman flesh contrast, if I'm doing that, if I'm saying that right. And you can see, you know, all this pink stuff. It's that contrast, that Guilliman contrast. But then I went back and I painted over it a little bit. I went and hit it with a couple different random colors and spots, which most of it you can't even see. But then I put some of this texture earth on it, so that way, you know, it's a little more. When you start really looking close, it's kind of a little more interesting. And I put some of that up in here in this section right here. I got some more twisted sprues. I got a barrel. So, yep, that's my piece of sci-fi wreckage that I built. And of course, you know, you really could use it for anything, Warhammer, whatever you wanted to. But you know, I specifically made this for a different game. But yeah, this thing was sitting around for, like I said, 2 or 3 years before I finally got around to painting that. I think most of you out there, if you're into painting miniatures at all, you can totally get that. And within the last couple of years, I've had a little bit of eyesight kind of going, so I had to, or not as good as it used to be, so I had to grab some glasses. And of course, that kind of put me off of painting for a while. But once I got into it, you know, it really didn't matter. I just had to wear my glasses on a couple of things. But yeah, so I had a really good time doing this. I also would spread some Elmer's glue out, some basing glue, and of course I'd sprinkle my grass and some of this other 3D stuff to give it some more features, some more texture. I got some rocks, actual miniature rocks. I got a whole bunch of this little stuff just floating around. So yeah, so that is my whole setup right there. And what I'm going to do real quick is, before I end this video, I'm going to put this thing on a turntable so we can just let it rotate, and that way you can get maybe a better view of it. So just stay tuned for the turntable view of this, and then, as always, stay safe, play great games, and I'll see you real soon.